Good afternoon, Philippines. Gabrielle Lopez here to keep you informed with what's happening right now here and abroad on PTV News Now. First up, officials from the Department of Public Works and Highways, or the DPWH, and the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, defended before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee why billions in flood control funds went to provinces not on the list of the country's most flood-prone areas. Senator Erwin Tulfo questioned the allocations, noting that Cebu, Isabela, Albay, Leyte, and Camarines Sur received huge budgets despite not being among the top 10 flood risk provinces. Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan said funds are distributed through district proposals and the budget process, but admitted that congressional insertions often add projects. Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman explained that her office merely releases funds approved under the General Appropriations Act, citing limited manpower to validate each project. Tulfo warned that the lack of cross-checking makes the process prone to waste and questionable allocations. Flood control remains one of the largest budget items, ballooning from less than 50 billion pesos in 2010 to over 350 billion pesos in 2025. But lawmakers said implementation has been piecemeal despite reported proposals for a national master plan. A glimmer of hope has shone through on the impasse between the Israel and Hamas on a truce and resumption of talks to finally end the nearly two-year war that has claimed close to 63,500 lives between the two. The ray of light is Hamas's latest decision to acknowledge and initially accept an Arab-proposed truce that would stall or completely shelve Netanyahu's planned expansion of the war and full occupation of the city of Gaza in exchange for the release of the hostages and expulsion of Hamas from the absolutely demolished Palestinian enclave. Egypt and Qatar, who painstakingly mediated between the terror group and Israel, said Hamas has finally relented and initially accepted a proposal laid down on the table. This after a previous ceasefire between Israel and Hamas that began early in the year collapsed on the first day of March that led to the increased air and strikes on Gaza and a food and relief blockade and has since put all Palestinians toward the brink of outright famine. Meanwhile, skeptics cast doubt on the sincerity of Hamas, to include U.S. President Donald Trump, whose acts of intercession or intervention to strike a deal and end the war and suffering in Gaza have fallen by the wayside. That's a wrap for our afternoon stories. Join us anew later for another twin bill of breaking stories in the evening. I'm Gabrielle Lopez, and thank you for watching PTV News Now.